Welcome to the People of DearDoc, an DearDoc Podcast, the show that brings you closer to the heart of our company. I'm your host, Billy, and each week we'll take you on a journey behind the scenes to meet the incredible individuals who drive our company's success. From marketing to product development, HR to sales, we're here to showcase the real people, the real stories, and the real passion that makes our workplace extraordinary. Whether you're a new hire that's eager to learn about our culture, or a seasoned pro looking to connect with colleagues that you've never met, this podcast is your invitation to join us in celebrating the unique talent that makes us who we are. So grab your favorite headphones, settle in, and get ready to meet the faces behind the roles as we dive deep into the heart of our company. It's time to discover the stories that inspire us, the ideas that drive us in the incredible journey that is DearDoc. Welcome to the People of DearDoc, an DearDoc Podcast. Let's get started. Everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the People of DearDoc. Today joining us is someone in our sales department, Drew Dippolito, one of our SDRs. Drew, how are we doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me. I'd say I've been a fan of the podcast for 8-9 weeks now, so time that we crossed paths. I'm happy to be here.
Let's go. So give us a brief little background yourself or a little introduction, what were you doing before DearDoc?
Absolutely. So my name is Drew, really Andrew full name. I'm from northern New Jersey, a small little town called Harrington Park up in Bergen County, if anyone's familiar with it. But yeah, my life pretty much revolves around the bubble that is Bergen County. I grew up being an athlete here, went to a regional high school with 4 different towns. So definitely got to learn a lot in high school, got to meet a lot of new different people. Next step for me was college out in Ohio, pretty big change of pace there. A lot of my friends and just most people in New Jersey like to stay around. I don't blame them. We love it. But I wanted to change of pace, so I shipped off to the cornfields of Ohio to Miami University, followed my older brother's footsteps. We could talk a little bit about that later. But yeah, first job out of college, found it kind of through Sophie recruiting me, and I couldn't be happier that this is my first starting spot. So.
Awesome. Is Bergen County, is that where Joey Diaz is from? Is that something different, like North Bergen?
Yeah, it's North Bergen, right on the border of Bergen County, and I think it's either Passaic. I think it's Passaic County, but same general area. Yeah.
Same general area, dude. That's the only thing that makes me think of North Bergen. It was like Joey Diaz. Like every time you say it, I'm like Joey Diaz.
I mean, all the people, they speak like him. The food's like it. It's all cultured up. It's great.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's great. So what made you decide to do a career in sales? Is that something you wanted to do or kind of just came up?
Absolutely. So I'd say it started, I spoke at TGIF about it. It started in the room next to me when I grew up. My dad is a very accomplished salesman. He now runs Northeastern sales for a roofing company called Suprema. So it pretty much was something that was very familiar for me. Listening to calls, whether I'd like to hear them in the morning or not, waking me up. But yeah, just kind of the apple didn't fall far from the tree with dad. I've always been a good communicator, knew how to stress value to other people. So yeah, I knew the sales role was something I was interested in, but it definitely was close. So close to my heart, close to my family.
Sweet. And now you're here. Has it been 5 months, 6 months?
Yeah, coming up on 6 months. Crazy. Time
It
flies.
flew by, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I know you mentioned that Sophie reached out to you on, was it LinkedIn, right?
Yep.
What stuck out about DearDoc versus maybe other jobs that maybe think about taking or that made you ultimately come here?
Yeah, great question. I'd say at first, being in my position coming out of college, it was like I've getting peppered with LinkedIn DMs and reaching out to other people and just kind of wanting to extend my network in general. Thing that's stuck out to me about Sophie's message and was just kind of the lightheartedness. It wasn't like, "Hi Drew, this is why we're reaching out. Like this is the job. This is why you're a good fit." It was just kind of like, "Hey, would you be cool to possibly catch up about this? We are recruiting SDRs. There's a lot of people your age, that kind of stuff." And it was just the organic nature of the whole process that really stuck out to me, and just like it went a long way for me.
Sweet. Did you know about the SDR role before Sophie reached out to you, or is that
I
brand
knew,
new?
yeah, so I knew of an SDR, right, prospecting and cold calling and all that stuff, but not really about it at DearDoc at all until I kind of read into it and talked to Sophie for the first time.
Sweet. Yeah, because I think SDR, it's something that you see a lot on LinkedIn and especially TikTok. That's kind of, I think I learned about SDRs at first. Walk us through like what's your day to day like before you come in the morning while you're in office. What is that like for you?
Absolutely. So it starts off with a routine. I think that's the most important part about being successful and consistent is the routine. You know it best. Both of us have long commutes into the city. It starts by starting off on a positive note. For me, what goes a long way is the book Make Your Bed. Very simple, written by a ex Navy SEAL and a very successful entrepreneur. And he just tells you to start with making your bed every morning. Uh, Not only do you come home to a perfectly made bed at the end of the day, but you
Yep.
start the day with a task accomplished. And the simplest task accomplished can start you in the right direction every single day. So along the lines of the commute, getting in a little bit early. I like to be there pretty much before other people. It's just something that's always been with me. Um, and yeah, prospecting for new business. We are the calm before the storm with DearDoc. We set up everything. We prospect new business. We hear a lot of no's. We hear a lot of yeses. But really, it's the yeses that get us through the day, and I'm sure you know that as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. How do you like keep a straight head? When you're having like maybe like a cold streak throughout the day, or like it's just kind of beating you up a little bit because that happens sometimes, right?
100%. And I'd say you're not a good SDR unless one of those bumps in the road has happened to you. Happened countless of times to me, and it's just really the consistency. It's looking back on, let's say I was in training, I knew I completed all my goals and I was good for quota and all that. It's just looking back at a time when you did it and you pushed yourself to do it. Nothing's changed. You're not putting else anything into the process. If only you've gotten better at it. So you just
Yeah.
have to realize what place you're in. And it takes a lot of time to get comfortable with it. And once you're comfortable with it, you kind of know it's definitely law of compensation.
Yep. I think it's like it's super like daunting coming into it, like or maybe it's like not daunting in the beginning. You're like I could definitely do this, and you kind of get hit with reality a little bit. Like maybe it is more challenging in some points. It's like I was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. It's like if you could stick through that, like it's so much sweeter than like the like sour part is, you know?
100%. And that's what I think a lot of SDRs in general don't get out of it. Obviously it's set up for you to fail. It's set up for you to, if you look at it one way, you are the bottom of the food chain, but in the other way, you're starting off the sales cycle for our company. So you
Yep.
could either look at it that way or look at it in the positive and take the positive at it. And, both of us are always about the positive. So.
Yeah, the impact that we create is huge. We literally are the start of something amazing for like people coming in and just everyone throughout the company. What is something that you've accomplished in the past 6 months that like really made you feel like, all right, I just did that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say the routine of it. Coming out of college, the groundwork isn't necessarily laid for everyone. For me,
Mm.
I wanted to get up, I wanted to start working right away and just kind of take a no thank you bite out of the professional world, pretty much.
Yep.
So along those lines, it was just like grinding through training. I thought it really felt good for me to leave my first 2 months at DearDoc knowing that not only I gave it my all, but that I actually impacted something at the company. And not only did that have a sense of accomplishment for me, but it also just put me in perspective. Like take a look at the most successful AE in the company, for example, or someone on CS. They started in my shoes as well, and it's all good because their success has come from kind of the escalator of DearDoc.
Yeah, for sure. I remember it was like, when did you go away on vacation for like a week? When was that? Like your third month?
Training. Yep.
You got the training. I remember like you were away. I didn't see you throughout the office, but every single day you had holds coming in and sales are coming. I'm like, this is insane. So it's sick that you were able to like actually fill up your pipeline before that and dominate when you weren't even here.
100%. And honestly, a funny story about that is Eric and I, my manager, we were game planning what it was going to take for me to pass training. Just grind it out. Being maybe don't take a lunch one day. You just got to hit the grindstone. And after I passed training, I told Eric, I was like, listen, I want to make sure I pass training before I schedule vacation, which is totally normal. And he was like, listen, don't worry about it. I wound up scheduling it before I knew I passed. And the whole entire week I was off was just like the big push of all my hard work coming back at me. So that was the best, definitely.
I'm sure your phone was blowing up.
Blowing up. Yep.
It was epic. What is like one of your favorite memories here at DearDoc? Maybe not that like something that's happened at the office or an event.
Yeah, I'd say it was the collective hitting 1 million as a sales team. Like that is
Ooh.
a very lofty. It wasn't even a goal in our mind at first.
Yeah.
all of us know we're way over an 100% team, but little did we know we could get to that seven-figure number. It was just absurd. And just being in the office that day with the energy and the knowing we're so close once we finally got that finish line, it was like nothing other. It's great.
Yeah. And then Millie started blasting throughout the office.
It was like a movie scene.
It was so sick. And then went to, was it Habachi like a week or two after that too?
What's up?
Was Habachi like a week or two after that for that, right?
Yep. And then we all threw down for Habachi. Good things come when you work hard.
Yeah, I think this is a sick story to touch on for people like maybe who aren't here yet or looking to come to the company. It's like, we crushed an epic goal, like went way past our goal in 1 month, hitting $1 million, which was sick. And then to like treat us for doing that, they took the whole sales division out to Hibachi, eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want. Everyone just we had like pretty much like a mini party. We had the whole floor rented out. It was sick.
100%. I think it's just the epitome of our company too. It's like a lot of people they love the like the bat patting after you do a good job and the kudos that comes, but it's the little things like that with like celebrating the wins with everyone who is involved, whether it's an SDR or Joe, like all along the food chain is just it's something special.
It's
You don't get
huge.
you don't get it in other places.
Nowhere else. So tell us more about like your life outside of work. What are you into? What do you like to do? Any hobbies?
Absolutely. I'd say my first hobby is definitely football. I grew up on the gridiron. My dad coached me forever. Football is something I'm very well knowledged in, whether that's college scale, high school scale, NFL. I'm a big football fan, big Jets fan. Other than that, my dad and I's relationship is very special. He was my coach forever. We do a lot of fishing together. He started
Okay.
recently so hot at golf, so we stick to the fishing pole now to calm the patience for him. But it's great. It's a great day out with him. It's very calm. It just puts it into perspective of like all the times we've had with him coaching me and like the angriness towards each other to for me getting better as an athlete. How we could just like
Mhm.
kind of sit back and just enjoy. It's the best.
Awesome. The fishing you do, is it like saltwater fish? Is it freshwater? I'm not like where you are in Jersey, like if that adds up or not.
Yeah. So if there's a body of water, my dad's gonna find it. He'll go
Really?
saltwater, deep. He'll go fly fishing. He just really loves to get out there. I don't know if that's getting away from my mom or just because he loves it, but definitely one of the two.
One thing I really want to do is go like tuna fishing and catch like a huge tuna. It'd
Just
be epic.
awesome
Yeah,
the
that'd be
experience
insane.
of it. Like going out, most times you actually have to stay out there or wake up at the crack of dawn to go out. But it's just an experience in its own. It's awesome.
Sweet.
And then UFC,
What was that?
and then some UFC too. I was a former wrestler. That's where me and you bond. So
Yeah, we talk a lot about UFC, and we're kind of a little annoyed about what's going on this month or no November for the John Jones
right,
fight, but hopefully they turn it around. We'll see what happens. We need to do like an actual UFC fight at the office still. We need to plan that, and make that happen one day.
me and you will definitely get that going.
Yeah, no, definitely. So another thing I want to ask you too is like, if you had to give yourself advice from the first day you walked in here, or maybe someone who's coming in for the first time as an SDR at DearDoc, what advice would you give to them?
I'd say along for the work process, I'd just say keep your head down and keep pushing. I know it sounds so nonchalant and just like not really to the point, but as long as you're coming in and doing your work and hitting your effort metrics every day, there's nothing really you should be worried about. Everything is designed around us for us to succeed, whether that's the sales training or the quotas we have to hit. Everyone
Yep.
knows what the work we have to put in is. It's just a willingness of having to put the work in. So
Yeah.
definitely those lines. Um, and then I'd say just like personally going, just always reach out, try new things. Um, I know it started with Levi. Levi was just on the podcast the other week. Um, when he came to talk to us with the lunch and learn, he just said, reach out to new people. And whether that's a coffee chat or just saying hello, he was the first person who huddled me when he first joined DearDoc. And it was great to just get to learn to know him, just kind of bounce ideas off him. And just like, you never know, you're what, three connections away from anyone in the world. So
Hmm.
definitely do those connections.
It's so true. I think it's one of the strengths we have here at DearDoc as well. It's like not only can you talk to anybody on the sales floor, you can go talk to an account executive that's been here for since the beginning, pretty much. You can go talk to the CEO, but you could also hop on like Slack and go talk to somebody in like CS or on the actual like finance side, whatever it is. Like you have access to everybody, and whatever questions you have will get answered.
100%. And that's also like I love looking at it that way because you look at someone like a great example is Garrett. He's running a revenue team lead now for us, totally on a separate part of the sales side of the company. But he
Mhm.
started as an SDR and then he was an
Yep.
AE. And it just goes to show like all the hard work that you put in, you can move different places within the company. You find different things that you love that you may not would have thought you loved. And
Mhm.
it's just great to see those people in our company who's like, they went through the success ladder of DearDoc, and here we are.
Yep. It's so crazy. I talk to people from other like departments are talking about their time at DearDoc. Like I ask them like, oh, how long you been here for? Like whatever comes up. And most of them always say like, oh, I started as an SDR and then transitioned into this somehow throughout the way. So it's cool. Like this is like really a starting point and you can go in any direction you want to go to, whether it's executive, go to customer success. You probably even go to marketing or something like that if you wanted to as well. All right, so we're going to do some like rapid fire kind of questions right now. This one's going to be a little bit longer because I'm not going to do like a rapid fire question, but it's going to be like a situational question. Ready? So you're on like a desert island or like a random city, and you have to bring 5 people with you to either help you like build that city or like kind of build yourself in it. Like for example, one of them could be somebody who's an architect to help you build something. That's going to be your main friend group. What are the 5 people you're bringing with you?
I love it. I love that you started with architect because that was right where I was going. I want some Frank Lloyd Wright type esque housing. I want lots of nature involved. I like the outdoors, so definitely his architecture is just something different. It stands out, and we always like to think differently here at DearDoc. So that's definitely
Mm.
my pick. My second pick would be my grandma. She is the most faithful person I know, church every day, but little do you know, she's more active than me. She swims multiple miles a day. She walks. She doesn't run anymore, but she would be just kind of like the holy angel of our city, for example. Bringing
Okay.
everyone, definitely the glue that glues the city together.
Love it.
Um, Other than that, I'd say we definitely have to have a technical mind in there. I'd say Elon Musk. We're
Ooh.
AI people over here. We love the robots. We love the automation of the world and the way it's going. So definitely have to adapt some new habits if we want a crazy new city. That's
Sick.
three. That's
Yeah,
three,
yeah.
right?
We have grandma, architect, and Elon Musk is coming.
All right. I'm gonna bring also one of my actually I'll make it two. My two best friends from college.
Ooh.
Nothing would ever go wrong with us. We have such a good relationship. Whether we're mad at each other or super happy on cloud nine with each other, it just always makes for a great time. I've had some of my best memories with them. Shipping off to a new world out in Ohio, they definitely helped me grow. And they can help me grow a city. That's for sure.
Are they bringing any skills to the table with them?
Oh, countless. One's a finance major and one also works in sales, so don't put that past him.
Okay, yeah, you guys are set then. Especially you have grandma too.
Oh yeah, 100%. Grandma's the glue.
Grandma's a clue. All right,
Yeah,
next one is you get to open up a restaurant. What's the theme of the restaurant? What's it going to look like inside? What kind of food are you going to be serving? And what's the name of it?
absolutely. I love this question because it's actually something I thought about with my two friends from school. Um, there's a shortage. I would specifically open it up at my college campus. There's a shortage of good Italian East Coast cuisine. I come from a family of lots of sauces and gravies and fried chickens and cutlets and you name it. So definitely something along the Italian cuisine sandwich line. Um, and something else that I like kind of unique about me is I love to try different type of condiments. Like obviously my last name is Dippolito. So all my friends says I always loved dips when I was growing up. So I'd call it something like dips or Dippolito's dips or something along those lines. Funny enough you say that I wrote my college essay about dips and just being different and trying new things. So that's
No
funny.
way.
Connecting the dots there, definitely.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, and you probably heard this question too before, like from the podcast. You're like you have to create an Olympic sport to lead your country to a victory. It could be anything. It could be like tying your shoes. What are you picking?
Wow, I haven't put too much thought into this one. I've heard it multiple times too on the podcast. Um, I would say making noise. I feel like
No.
Americans are known for being rambunctious and like super in your face when it comes to sports, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what better thing to do and just like make a sport for what we do best at is just getting crazy and fired up. There may be some adult beverages mixed in there if that would help us, but definitely along those lines, making noise.
That'd be crazy. In like 20 years, look at the Olympics and there's people screaming. It's like, all right, that team won, that team lost.
Yeah, America gold medal.
That's great. Dude, this one's been epic. Anything you want to send us off with before we wrap it up here?
No, I mean that's about it. Like I said when I came on, I've been a fan of the podcast because they're my favorite people who have been on it. Not only that, but I mean you as a host, there couldn't be anyone better to fit that role
No.
there. Um, and then for anyone who doesn't know, Billy inspires me every day. He always comes in just like me, an early riser and early grinder. He's always getting his stuff done. So thank you to Billy. You definitely make me a better me every day. Appreciate you.
Dude, I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming on too. This one's been great. I'm sure if anyone has any questions, wants to reach out to you, Slack's always open, LinkedIn's always open.
You know it. Absolutely. I'm one text away.
Awesome. Dude, this one's been great.